In the shadow of civil wars and political upheaval, one man emerged to reshape the destiny of Rome. On January 13, 27 BC, Octavian stepped onto the Senate floor, not as a conqueror, but as a master of political theater, orchestrating a transformation that would birth an empire. This is the story of how Augustus, through cunning, compromise, and calculated displays of power, forged the Roman Empire and secured his legacy as its first emperor. In 28 and 27 BC, Octavian, soon to be Augustus, engineered the first settlement, a delicate balance of religious, political, and military maneuvers that solidified his authority. Far from a single dramatic moment, this was a calculated series of events. Octavian raised new patrician families, filled vacant priesthoods and senatorial positions with loyal supporters, and issued an edict nullifying illegal emergency measures from the civil wars. This allowed him to sidestep unfulfilled promises while maintaining the facade of restoring the Republic. On January 13, 27 BCE, Octavian's public refusal of the Senate's acclamations was a political feint. His concessions were carefully scripted, ensuring he retained the titles of consul and princeps senatus, along with proconsular imperium over key provinces like Gaul, Spain, Cilicia, Syria, and Egypt. This gave him control over 20 of the 27 Roman legions, plus the ability to summon loyal veterans. 3 days later, the Senate bestowed upon him the honorific Augustus, meaning illustrious one, and the corona civica, a laurel wreath for saving Roman citizens, ironic, given the blood spilled during his rise. These titles, while symbolic, tied Augustus to Rome's religious and civic identity, cementing his role as the state's protector. The years following the first settlement, 27 to 23 BCE, saw Augustus carefully managing both supporters and rivals. Figures like Gaius Cornelius Gallus and Marcus Licinius Crassus learned the cost of overstepping. Gallus, appointed to govern Egypt, allowed statues and inscriptions glorifying himself, prompting Augustus to swiftly remove him. Crassus, attempting to dedicate enemy armor to Jupiter, was permitted a triumph but barred from further prominence. These moves underscored Augustus' intolerance for challenges to his authority. Criticism of nepotism arose when Augustus favored his nephew Marcellus, seen as a potential successor. The trial of Marcus Primus, former proconsul of Macedonia, exposed tensions when Augustus' influence over the case led to public outcry. His co-consul, Terentius Varro Murena, challenged him during the trial, and by 23 BCE, Murena's conspiracy against Augustus resulted in a purge. A second plot by Ignatius Rufus met a similar fate. These events revealed the precariousness of Augustus' position, forcing him to tread carefully. In 23 BCE, a grave illness forced Augustus to confront his mortality. From his sickbed, he delegated authority to Marcus Agrippa and Calpurnius Piso, a staunch Republican, signaling his commitment to shared governance. After recovering, Augustus ceded the consulship in the second settlement, gaining enhanced proconsular imperium that allowed him to retain authority in Rome and the power of a tribune of the plebs. This gave him veto power, the ability to convene the Senate, and precedence in speaking, sidelining traditional offices to equestrian appointees. A food shortage in 22 BCE, possibly engineered, allowed Augustus to reject the dictatorship publicly while assuming control of Rome's food supply, cura noni. Using his authority over Egypt, he alleviated the crisis at his own expense, bolstering his public image. He also took on the powers of the censor, enabling him to conduct the census and edit the Senate's roster, further consolidating his control. Augustus' refusal to hold the consulship sparked unrest. In 21 BCE, riots erupted when he declined the position, and even Marcus Agrippa struggled to quell the violence. By 19 BCE, public disorder escalated, with vandalism and street fighting prompting Augustus to personally appoint consuls, gradually eroding electoral traditions. He also ended the proconsular triumph for all but his family, ensuring military victories were credited to him alone. In 18 BCE, Augustus and Agrippa revised the Senate's roster, raising the wealth requirement to 1 million sesterces and reducing eligible families to 600. This risky move sparked resentment and assassination plots, forcing Augustus to wear hidden armor during Senate sessions. By personally selecting senators and funding eligible families, he tightened his grip on the Senate. Augustus intertwined his secular authority with religious symbolism. In 17 BCE, he revived the Ludi Seculares, an Etruscan festival marking a new century, signaling the dawn of a new era under his rule. As head of the College of Priests, he performed sacrifices alongside Agrippa, with Horace delivering a panegyric to Apollo, Augustus' patron god. In 12 BCE, Augustus assumed the title of Pontifex Maximus, moving the official residence to his estate and appointing his wife, Livia, as keeper of Vesta's sacred flame. These acts tied his identity to Rome's spiritual core. In 2 BCE, Augustus was granted the title Pater Patri, father of the country, a rare honor previously bestowed on figures like Cicero and Caesar. This marked the pinnacle of his efforts to align himself with Rome's legendary past, particularly Romulus, while maintaining the appearance of republican tradition. Augustus expanded the Senate's bureaucratic responsibilities, creating commissions for firefighting, aqueduct maintenance, and public property management. A key committee, including consuls, praetors, and senators, served as a focus group for Augustus to test policies before Senate approval, ensuring his influence. He also shortened consular terms to 6 months, increasing opportunities for senators to gain prestige while maintaining his oversight. The trial of his daughter Julia in 2 BCE for scandalous affairs allowed Augustus to assert the Senate's judicial authority over political crimes, intertwining its role with imperial politics. His ability to exile by edict, as seen with the poet Ovid, further solidified his control. Augustus' rise was not the work of a tyrant seizing absolute power but of a political genius navigating the complexities of Roman tradition. Through calculated concessions, religious symbolism, and strategic purges, he transformed the republic into an empire while maintaining the illusion of its preservation. His informal institutions, princeps, proconsular imperium, and religious titles became the bedrock of the Roman Empire, enduring for centuries. Augustus' legacy is one of balance, a man who wielded supreme power under the guise of republican humility, ensuring Rome's stability and his own immortality. Like and subscribe to AI American Generals for more historical insights.